So my name is Dr. Shani Johnson. I am a third-year Pediatric Hematology-Oncology Fellow and soon to be instructor of hematology at Baylor College of Medicine, Texas Children's Hospital in Houston, Texas. Yeah, so it was interesting. So one of the postdocs who works in my lab, who's become a really good friend of mine, she was actually looking for grants of her own, and she ran across the JML Fellowship Award, and she let me know about it, and she was like, "I think this would be a good fit for you." And initially, I was like, "Well, hemophilia," but we looked at the criteria, and inherited blood disorders include sickle cell disease, and so I said, let's give it a shot and see what happens. Oh my gosh, so I was elated. I was really excited to be working on my research in the lab and wanted to continue to do that, after fellowship. And so one of the ways to ensure that that continues to happen is to have a grant. So I was so excited and fortunate to receive the award. Yeah, so it first allows me to continue to pursue my research and then have the protected time to be able to continue to do that. And so I've been afforded, 80% protected research time, and this grant was an important part of that. And then it also allows me to have the resources to continue to investigate my research, because this is kind of a new area of sickle cell disease research. And so the grant really helps me to be able to continue to do that. So I think it's first important to understand that both children and adults with sickle cell disease can develop these episodes of almost like a pneumonia-like acute lung injury, and we call that acute chest syndrome. And it's so common that, up to half of patients with sickle cell disease may develop acute chest syndrome in their lifetime. And so, what makes this complication interesting is that it can be very mild, almost like a cold, or it can be a really serious, severe complication where, you may need to be in the ICU or the intensive care unit, have a ventilator machine to help you breathe and for your lungs to heal. So at this point, we're not quite sure, what molecules and genes in the body make you more likely to have more of that severe type of presentation of acute chest syndrome. And so the goal of my research is to take a closer look at the molecules and the genes that may increase your risk of having the more severe acute chest syndrome. And the overall hope is, from what I find in my research, to hopefully be able to figure out which patients are more at risk of that severe type of acute chest syndrome. And then on the other hand, think of ways to create treatments that can reduce the likelihood of you having such severe lung injury. Yeah, so it's a long, interesting story, but I will say, I grew up in a household with different people in different parts of healthcare. So my mom is a nurse. I have a lot of nurses in my family, actually. And so I was exposed to healthcare at a very early age. But I think it was in high school where I realized you could have combined science and teaching and just leadership and everything into this one kind of field, medicine, and becoming a physician. And so I initially went into medicine and started medical school thinking that I wanted to do primary care because I was really interested in eliminating healthcare disparities. And so I had a lot of different opportunities to learn more about topics like pathology and learn more about sickle cell disease in particular. And through those clinical and research experiences, I realized I can still do all of those things I was interested in and also have this focus on sickle cell disease, which is still something that's under-researched and underrepresented in terms of focus in healthcare. And so, fast forward, I decided to pursue Pediatric Hematology-Oncology Fellowship, and now I'm here. Yeah, so, I thought a lot about this question, and I think it makes me think of a couple of things. One, I think that when you think of medicine and being a physician in particular, it's not just diagnosing patients and treating them. You have this opportunity to be a teacher, a mentor, an advocate, not only for your patients, but those who are thinking about, pursuing science and medicine. And so it gives you the opportunity to be able to show like, hey, you can do this too. And then it also, for those who are coming along, who want to pursue more of the research, who want to do more leadership roles, it gives you the opportunity to encourage others to pursue their dreams. And so I think medicine is a beautiful way to be able to do that. And, I'm very thankful for the mentors and role models I've had because I think they really did help contribute to why I've made it this far. Yeah. So, like I kind of alluded to, representation really does matter. And, when you see or hear someone who looks like you doing some of the things you're interested in doing, it just gives you a lot more inspiration, encouragement that, you can do it. And that there are people who can, help you along the way to be able to get there through their own experiences. And then I think on the other hand, I think this is why diversity is important, because you can give different perspectives and see things in different ways. And I think all of those things, having diverse perspectives have allowed us to be able to think about clinical questions, think about research questions in a different way. And I think it's been, it's contributed to creating this significant impact on the way that healthcare is changing and evolving. Man, I would say go for it. I think for me initially, like I was mentioning, I'm working on sickle cell disease research. And initially I was like, oh, the Hemophilia Foundation, would they even be interested in my project? And it was very exciting to see that there was so much interest. And so I will say, if you like look at the criteria and it even somewhat applies to you, just go for it, especially if you have a project that you're excited about and you have a team that's willing to support you. I say go for it. Yeah, I just want to mention again, I'm so thankful for the opportunity to have this fellowship award. I have wanted to be a physician scientist at least since residency, and just thinking about ways to continue to have the support to do so, because this is kind of new territory for me. And so NHF has been able to be the first grant that really is going to support me to be able to continue my dreams and hopefully make a significant impact on my patients.